the cutie. Now I don't give a. Tell me why I would on the rose bar couch in my bag. Bands in my denim. In my denim, she was trying to for it out. She don't give a. She was in her bag. Fendi and some lane. Asked for a burger. Watch in the front seat of the fouled out J. We living so wild like Nas. When she was on vacation. We was on roll like tires. What we gon' I'm in my bag like.
Coach, thank you much. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. Who said the crowds wouldn't embrace football being back in L.A.? You certainly couldn't tell that by what we saw a few moments ago. These folks are pumped up as their Rams get set to do battle with the Seattle Seahawks. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the first carry here for Todd Gurley. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
Barkevious Mingo in that time on the tackle.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. The former first-rounder Barkevious Mingo. And that's going to make it fourth down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
A terrific return there, 27 yards all told. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Here's a carry now for Keith Marshall. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Now Marshall. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. The tackle there by Mark Barron.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And Dixon has it. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Ed Dixon, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead. Janikowski adds the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Out to kick is Janikowski. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So now here are the Rams as their offense comes back out. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Goff. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And got his man complete. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. Goff finding Cooks on a big play. 44 yards. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10. Down at the 31. Goff turns and gives to Gurley. He'll get it to the 23-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. Gurley's got the first down and then some. And did he get in? No. Down at the 1-yard line. That good for 22 and a first down.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What, is it 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they get to that end zone real fast.
So 3 plays, already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time.
76. Merlin.
On 1st and goal, Gurley. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. Todd Gurley, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Rams are an extra point away from tying up this football game. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. Here comes Johnson on the return. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak can have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Let's play time, guys. Let's go.
Right back to him on 1st down. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
So many times during games we talk about reading keys. So what does that mean for a cornerback? Well, when you're guarding a receiver, is he actually going out for a pass, or is he trying to block you because it's a running play? Reading the key and understanding the play. On this one, he diagnosed it perfectly and made an excellent tackle.
Wilson sliding out of the pocket. He's going deep for Brown. That's caught inside the 20. And that one results in 35 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside. And he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 1st down, Seahawks. Wilson to Baldwin.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. The line of scrimmage, once again, the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal.
Gotta go. Let's go, 14.
To throw again is Wilson. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Mark Barron. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Oh, Charles, after that interception in the Super Bowl from the 1-yard line, I thought Pete Carroll would run it inside the 5 every time.
Sometimes I wonder if maybe Pete did want to run it inside the 5. For Russell Wilson, you know he's such a competitor that he doesn't want that interception to stand, that maybe he wanted to be in that spot and say, hold it a second, I can throw a touchdown pass. Instead, he's victimized again.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. To throw is gone. And he comes back with one complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there at 22.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Back live now to begin the 2nd quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Rams with a football to get us going, and they've got it here with a 1st down. Now Goff will hand this one to Gurley. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now a handoff for Gurley. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. In on the stop, it was the UCF product, Shaquem Griffin.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33, and his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Give him 8 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Here's Wilson to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 48, and they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. How about the big boys snagging one? You don't see that every week.
No, you don't, but a lot of them are just reliving their old dreams, going back to when they were in youth football and in high school. They didn't always play defensive line. Some of them actually handled the football, and you can see the flashback when he grabbed that one.
And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe. From the 50, it's Goff.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second.
And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
14.
After the interception, here's Wilson. He lets it fly for Lockett. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. Over the middle here to Brown. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 18 yards the gain for number 18. Wilson now 6 of 10 in this 1st half. He's got his guys a 1st down here.
Check 50, check 50.
A 1st carry for the converted wideout, J.D. McKissick. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll go as a loss of 5. And it'll make this a 2nd and long. Now it's Wilson. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. And that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the 1st down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
Third and long, it's Wilson. And down he goes on the pressure from the Rams defense. Aaron Donald in there to get him, and that's sack number 18 for him on the year. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Fielded just inside the 30. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. Now the Rams offense, they work their way back on the field. And 2 picks thrown here in this 1st half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while they'll hurt their team.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
14.
On 1st down, Wilson. And the tight end, Dixon, left side. And 15 yards there on the catch and run. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did.
14.
And here's Marshall. And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28. minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. We're back to the City of Angels after this timeout.
Shotgun. Shotgun. Zebra. Go 14.
On second down, here's Wilson. This will be caught inside the 10. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. Out to kick is Janikowski. Set to return. This is Brandon Cooks. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. They'll throw underneath for Gurley. Nothing on that one. It'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Goff now looks to throw. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense. As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Now this is fielded in the end zone. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Seahawks will take over at their own 20. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
14, run it.
This is Marshall. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Running game working, they'll stick with it on first down. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Shotgun. Hey, over here.
Now Wilson on second down. Dancing to his left. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Here's Goff. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. Brandon Cooks, the receiver he was going after. And that'll bring up second down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They go play action with Gurley. Now Goff. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. He was looking for Cooper Kupp there. And that'll make it third down. The Rams on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, here's Goff. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. So on 4th down, here comes Greg Zuerlein to try and get 3 for the Rams. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. And Zuerlein's kick is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
Short kick. One of the up middle take it now. We have hit halftime. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that.
Let's go work. Let's go to work.
Here's McKissick. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Mark Barron. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. That reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for him.
Yeah, he's got it. That'll put him at 77 yards receiving for the ball game. It's a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Here we go, fellas. Here we go. Hey, 76. 76.
They'll try and push it in with Gurley. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now Goff on 3rd and goal. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. He's at the 50, 30, 20, 10. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction, excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
On the return, it's Pharaoh Cooper. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And following the pick six, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest. And while there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
They'll get a couple yards on that one, and just like that, it's 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Throwing on 3rd, gone. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. They are going for it. Goff. He's going to air one out. And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 15. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Wilson. Buying time to his left. Now he'll let it go deep left side. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Goff now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
12.
Out of the gun. Goff. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
A play fake to Gurley. Now Goff. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds down inside the 20. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. On first down, it's Gurley. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. Todd Gurley with his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Rams are able to get back within a touchdown. Now Goff will lead the Rams up to go for 2. Now Goff. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And with it, they're back within a field goal. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. On second down, Wilson. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Aaron Donald in there for the sack, and he's closing in on that all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here.
Tempo.
Throwing is Wilson. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Aaron Donald in there for the 20th time this year as he continues what could be a record-setting season. Back now in Los Angeles. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point, just a few. Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. And this ball is going to be down now right at the 10-yard line. Good spot. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. They want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
That's into the hands of Reynolds. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Now it's gone. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Returnable for Lockett. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field.
They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Steps away to his left. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. They'll run it now out of the gun. Wiggles free. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Over the middle, Jerome Brown's got it. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Pete Carroll, no stranger to rolling the dice. He'll roll it again. 4th down, they're going for it. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. He's got Lockett. A defensive breakdown allows a pickup of 16 on 4th down. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
They'll run with Marshall. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. On the stop was Aaron Donald. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Now Wilson throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. Take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
No move to get the offense off the field here. They've converted once on this drive. On 4th, they'll go again and try it once more. Here's Wilson. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Pete Carroll rolled the dice, but it didn't work out. And the Rams are going to take possession of the turnover on downs. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. To throw is gone. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. 2nd and 10. Goff again. Out left, he's got it to Everett. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. Back to throw. This is caught. It's Cooks. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving.
76.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. The clock still runs. We're at 90 seconds now. Here's Gurley. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
I like it. I like the call. Instead of an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. First down, L.A. Goff finding Higbee.
Okay, there's 3 timeouts left, right?
Think you got to use one here, don't you?
No doubt about it. I'd use one right here.
He's back to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Now the ball comes loose, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, that simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they've got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week at practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
On the other side, no bigger time to force a turnover when you've got that small lead.
Yeah, and when you look at it from the offense's perspective, taking care of the ball is so important. I know they're going to have all kind of ball security drills in practice all next week.
And now the Rams are going to halt things as they want a timeout. As the clock stops here with 46 seconds left to play.
Don't take forever, okay?
They stay on the ground. This is Marshall again. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this 4th quarter. Wilson wants to throw it. Now he's forced out right. And some room to roam now. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Here's Wilson. Forced out to his left. Able to get away. And he will not throw it away. He goes out of bounds, well shy of the line of scrimmage, so that's a sack. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
The offense going to stay out there. They've converted once, failed once. What can they do here on 4th down? The Seahawks will go for it. It's Wilson. He's going to wind up and air it out. down. And now here is another interception. Picked off by John Johnson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. You were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Seahawks, the train just keeps rolling 9-0 now to start this campaign. And they'll return home next week to take on the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for L.A., add another loss to the pile as they drop to 2-8 now on the year. And they'll get a home date next week against the Kansas City Chiefs. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
Somebody call for the queen.
I never killed anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving the. I told him to the hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning, I had me a pop by the morning. I had me some breaks by the morning, I had a six by the morning. I got on a meat on the morning, the rest keep me up on the volume. I had a in my shoulder, you got a picture me. You got the picture me. Pacific ice, I'm an ocean. Ready for war like I'm Russia. Ladies should never the luggage. My diamonds, they tussling. My neck and my belly, they call it for me and they. You want me like me and I look. Yeah, her Rex on her. Yeah, B-Rex better calm down. Yeah, if you go around, come around. Yeah, whole squad. Yeah, squad goes on me. Yeah, make some orange gel on my toes. Yeah, Farrakhan glass for the trolls. Yeah, you can go and get mad. Jumping in the bed with the 2 dot team, man, who's you? My shawty pulling up with a real bad. You too. Dripping my swag. Do my tag on. I got it in the bag, man. I'm getting all type of cash. I'm a general. I never killed anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving the. I told him to the hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning, I had me a pop by the morning. I had me some breaks by the morning, I had a six by the morning. I got on a meat on the morning, the rest keep me up on the volume. I had a in my shoulder, you got a picture.
You got a picture me. Send me calling. Ready for war like Korea. Headlining shows out in Poland. You should be cleaning my mansion. My peasants disgusting. Why don't you act like a Hoffman and go get to dustin'? Yeah, latex on my. Go clean my crown. Can't hear the haters from way up here. They don't make a sound. Money goes on these. White paint on my toes. I seen a new Bay alert. Gonna be mad. Jumping in the bed, then I switch to the ghost. Like who's you? Remember this face, cause I'm that. You gon' lose too. Dripping in ice. You looking at you. It's squad goals win. Are you pretty like no, no?
I never killed anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back,